I'm going to be showing you how to replace a wheel bearing on a 2007 Chevy Tahoe. This will be similar from the 2007s, or actually from the 2001, from the 2000s to 2014s from what I can remember. It's pretty much you're only going to need like an 18 millimeter and 15 millimeter. I think it's 21 or 22 millimeter socket for the wheel. So it's for the wheel, the lug nuts, it's going to be 22 or 21. I think it's either or. 15 for the wheel bearing hub assembly, and 18 millimeter for the caliper bracket. You're going to take off the whole caliper bracket assembly as one. If you wanted to do the brakes and all that, then you would need to take off the caliper itself away from the bracket and replace all that. Might as well do it since you're there. I'm not going to do it because all that's good. Yeah, I mean, pretty much customer complaints, just loud noise on that. Follow the steps. I'm going to show the jacking up point, and then from there show all the process to that. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future. Comment down below if you have any questions regarding this video, and yeah, we'll go ahead and start this video after the intro. So number one, we're going to go ahead and jack up the car from the front subframe. Make sure you have your emergency brakes on. So as you can see right there, I'm jacking it up. I'm jacking it up on both wheels. I already replaced that side, and now I'm just going to be replacing this side too as well. Alright, one thing I forgot to mention, this is a T30, it's a star bit right there. You can go ahead and take that off. If you don't have an impact gun, what you can do is stick a flathead screwdriver right in here, or a screwdriver, and then put it on the bottom right here. And then once you start loosening it, it'll lock itself in place right there. And then also jacking up point for a jack stand. I can't put jack stands here, it won't work. Or maybe I can put like a tire, but yeah, I'm just gonna leave it because I'm not gonna really go into the car. You can jack it up from here, this subframe. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. I'm gonna leave that because, like I said, I'm not going under there. And then we're gonna have to take off this clip right here. So we'll go ahead and just break off this little tab right there, and then pull. This is the connector pin, so you'll pull that. I'll deal with that. You can, with the new wheel bearing, I'm going to get new tabs already. So I'm going to pull off this one and that. If you didn't want to damage these, you can use like a flathead screwdriver for right there. And then same thing for right here. You can do that on the inside. You can push against right there. Alright, so we're going to have two 18 millimeter bolts. We're gonna have one right here. Don't get this confused with that one. So one right here, and then the second one is right here at the top piece right here, right next to this bracket. That's another 18 millimeter. So we're gonna go ahead and take those both off. So now we got three 15 millimeter bolts. So we got 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna go ahead and take those off. I'm gonna use a breaker bar. Make sure you're using a 6-point socket. So the reason why I'm using a 6-point is because a lot of people, they'll use a 12-point and they'll end up stripping the heads on that. I came across that a lot from other customers dealing with their mistakes. So we'll go ahead and loosen these. Now, if your wheel bearing's pretty hard to get out, what you can do is go from the inside from right here and hit it out from right there. yeah, that's pretty much it. You'll go ahead and clean up this area. You can use some sandpaper. I'm gonna use the wire brush. Make sure this surface is clean and this inner surface. Had a few times where this is actually pretty rusted and it'll be offset, and then basically you would have like a wobble while you guys are driving. All right, so before putting in our new wheel bearing, make sure you spin it, make sure it's nice. So this is actually spinning pretty smooth. So now we're gonna go ahead and install this. So we're gonna put the cable in here. Slide it right through there. The cable should mount just like that. How you see it. And then make sure you lift up the cable so it doesn't bind. Just like that. And then make sure you hold it with your hand. And then I'm gonna start threading it. As I'm wiggling it back and forth, just the triangle part, I'm gonna thread in the top layer and the bottom and by hand so I get those guys going in. Once I get those guys going in, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten them down. And then I'm gonna go with my pry bar and put a little bit of force onto it. After I'm done doing that, we're gonna go ahead and put the rotor on. But before we put on the rotor, we need to clean up this area. So I'm gonna be using a steel brush just to clean up this. You can use sandpaper. This is just a faster method. Oh Lord. So now we're going to go ahead and put back on our rotor. Make sure that the indentated part is going to go ahead and go along with the screw hole. So we'll go ahead and set that right in there. Now if you break this screw, no biggie, don't worry about it. This is not really necessary. This is not going to hold in the rotor. The lug nuts are going to hold in the rotor. So if this bolt strips on you, you can just drill it out the head. And then once you get out the rotor, you can just use some pliers or do it by hand. But you just pretty much drill all that out. Again, so like I said, the lug nuts is what's going to be holding in the rotor. Now you don't need to do this too tight. I would say about 3 to 4 foot-pounds at the most. So already tightened these guys down. Again, spin your wheel bearing. Make sure you don't hear no noise. Then we're going to go ahead and put on our caliper. Now if you're having a hard time seating it in, make sure you put your hand inside and kind of like move the pad back and forth just like that. And just seat it right in. I like to start off with the bottom bolt because that one's usually the easiest to guide. And once you get that thread going in, you can start off with the top. Don't tighten it down all the way. Make sure you get in both threads. I was recording, but guess not. So make sure you push this guy right in. This is how it should look. I got a new piece, so I'm going to use the new one, obviously. Make sure that the head, you can kind of see the indentation right there. That's how it should look like. And then for the other side, I kind of had a little trouble placing this bottom piece inside the hole. So connect these two real quick. keep pushing till it clips and then pull back. And if nothing happens, then you are good. And then we'll go ahead and push down. If it doesn't go down, no biggie. That one's a little bit. I'm just gonna use the zip tie, and we'll just zip tie it right over. I'm not gonna sit here and fight this all day. The other one didn't fit, so I already know. So we'll go ahead and tighten that down right there. Try to get it as close as possible and lined up. Pull as tight as possible, and then we'll cut that. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten up the lug nuts. Basically you want to kind of do it in a star pattern or offset pattern. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't tighten them down all the way. You want to get in the first one kind of snug, so you can kind of see the wheel kind of center out, and then you'll go on the opposite side and then snug it right in, and then you go one more, and then you can kind of hit it from there. So we'll go ahead and do the star pattern. And then you'll lower your car. That's pretty much it. Alright, so if this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions regarding this. And then hit that subscribe button down below for more upcoming videos in the future. And thanks for watching.